So today we're going to talk about ironing on the big Mat Rotary Cutting Surface with a wool ironing mat. So the reason I'm using this old-fashioned iron is because it gets hotter than any iron I've ever used. I love it, and it gets hot. So what I did right there, I put it right on the wool cutting mat. Don't do that. Put it on a silicone pad or whatever. So I've been letting this iron heat up for now 20 minutes. It's very hot, and I have it on the highest setting. So we are going to get our fabric here, and our cutting mats are firm and durable. They don't warp. But if you're going to iron on our cutting mat, make sure you have the wool cutting mat, which is about 3/4 of an inch thick. And so I'm just going to iron and iron and iron. And I'm kind of pressing down because I myself too want to see what's going to happen with the mat. Now the iron is hot. You have to trust me on that. The iron is hot. Now, if you did this on any other cutting mat, it's going to bubble up already and maybe distort it forever. So, I'm going to put my iron down, and I'm going to put it on this silicone mat, and I'm even going to see what happens with the mat underneath that. So, okay, I'm going to lift it up. There's nothing there. There might be just a little tiny bit. As soon as it cools off, it's going to be completely flat again, but nothing that is going to distort your grid line. So it's still nice and cool down here. It's not hot at all. Now that iron will be hot long after I turn it off. So now we've got it on the silicone mat, and the mat is cool. The iron, don't touch the iron. The mat is cool underneath. So I think we've given it plenty of time. Let me take this up, and is it cool there or is it hot?
Warm. I mean, it's not warm, but
it's only very warm. So the one thing that you don't want to do is to steam iron on our cutting mat, and for a minute or two, you might get away with it, but with our cutting mats, if you cut in the same spot over and over, and all quilters do, you might have a nice, beautiful mat over there, but you're still cutting in this area. You can actually wear it so thin that even without ironing on it, it could cause a little bubble. That's why in our instructions we say move your projects around, cut in different areas, use the whole mat, use it up, because the only way it's really going to warp is if you wear it so thin that all of a sudden you got a little bubble. That can happen. But as you can see, our cutting mat is still nice and very flat. So when people ask us, can you iron on it? I always say with a nice wool cutting mat.